Welcome to Stream Moms. Everything working today? It seems to be. Okay, let's get started. A lot of completed things on the schedule for today. See it on the right side of the screen. Two new completed characters. We shall display. Should be two showing up. So everything I've done over the past week is towards the shonen. Everything you see on the schedule besides these two last bullets. These two last bullets have been here since like April. But we completed a town, our first town in the forest region. We have completed information for characters I've mentioned on the channel before: Dragon, Kiahi, and Aura. All of their stuff is done. We have a clad character drawing, which is one of the two I just pulled up. We have completed character clad, though completed is in quotations because I still don't have an ability for his weapon just yet, which is like his belt. And then we have a completed character drawing for Bleak. And then I'm working. So after the stream, after my laptop wasn't working, I just went to sleep and then woke up at 4 a.m. this morning and was watching YouTube videos for like an hour or two, and then I just started drawing. So that's when I did Bleak within like 2 or 3 hours, and then I started doing Arachna, who's one of his partners, but she's not completed just yet. One of his trio partners on the villain team of Ruin, but I could have finished her off stream, but I want a little bit more out of her design. I don't want her just wearing like a bodysuit and having spider hair. Like, there's got to be more to it than that. Plus, I'm trying to figure out what her abilities are, and I want to showcase it in the hand that's not shushing the viewer. So I'm trying to figure that out. That's why that's not done. But if the stream didn't crap out yesterday, we wouldn't have Bleak today. So it is what it is. I agree. Detail on those two characters. I appreciate that, Bones. So let's start crossing things off. I have a lot to get through. For the completed characters, I'm probably just gonna go through everything for them, even though like you guys have seen me write for them and like add some things here and there for them throughout the streams. I'm just gonna do them all in one go so we can be done with them. So the first thing, we have the completed town of Nightaholiwood. Try and say that 5 times fast. So where did I get the name from? Nyctaholophobia is the fear of dark forests, and this town is within the forest region, but it's within a... Oh god. Why is this here again? I think at the bottom right of the screen, I think this is the reason that my laptop crapped out, because Windows always decides at 8 freaking p.m. that it's the best time for updates, and my computer shuts down because of it. This was here yesterday. I just told you guys I was drawing, and my laptop was on all morning into like 11 a.m. into noon, and this thing wasn't here before, and now it wants to show back up again. I'm really pissed off right now, but Nyctahyllophobia is the fear of dark forest. This takes place in the forest region, or this town is in the forest region, and this is the town that's surrounded by like the area that has the myth around it. So in order for a little bit more context, we're gonna scroll up to key places, and one of the key places we have here is the Lanternlit Lane, which is located in the forest region. It leads to and through Nyctahyllowood, but if one were to stray from the path outside of the town, there's no telling what happens. There have been a number of mysterious disappearances around the town, so they always keep the lanterns lit so visitors don't stray from the path. Right? So the information I have on Nyctahyllowood, one of the few towns that doesn't have a single elected leader. Well, let's switch these. You guys can read that better, so I don't have to. Okay, so I don't have to scroll up. Although is one that people come to with issues. Although you'll know who that is in a second. It is also plagued by unknown evil forces surrounding it, which is what the Lanternlit Lane described. So the locals put up lanterns that lead to and through the town safely. These lanterns have to be relit monthly. That's just to give a bit more realism to it. The lanterns don't just stay lit all the time. That would also cause some conflict down the line, perhaps, if I wanted to add that into the story. Like, hey, these lanterns need to be relit. The main characters have come to this town. Maybe they can escort whoever needs to relight these lanterns as like a side story or something like that. I can help you finish that drawing. Click on it. You could delay the update. Yeah. It didn't force me to update it during the stream, but I have a reason. I have a reason to believe that it was crapping out because of that. Because before, early in the day, I had been using my laptop. Then my dad and brother showed up. I ate with them, came back, and my laptop was, well, what you saw in the 4-minute stream of my face freezing for the entire 4 minutes. And this was here at the bottom right. So also, this laptop is like 2 or 3 years old, which is what I believe is 7 days. This schedule. I have no idea when I'm gonna go to sleep. I know I won't be up at noon tomorrow, so let's try it. No, not today. Alright, let's hope the delays F off because of this now. So yeah, that's this town. And right after, now we'll describe who Aldo is in Dragon's completed backstory. We'll throw Dragon's picture up because we're getting into his character. Nope, that's Kiai. Oh, did we move him over? I think we moved him over already. Yeah, he's not in this document. He's not in the new document anymore. He's in Virtuosity Completed. What's up, though? Okay, welcome to the stream. Glad you could stop by. Let's find Dragon in this. And throw up this picture. Okay, Dragon. Gender, male. Semiotics hard worker. Boy Scout hero. 5'6". Colors, green. You see the green in his pants, the belt, and the tattoo. Purple, which is the belt, and black, which is literally everything else besides the skin. In his eyes. Black hair, green eyes, pale skin, scars, plenty of scars. And green tattoo on right arm. Black wraps, purple belt, black pants, black shoe wraps. Alignment, lawful neutral. This is pretty important to his character. Personality, diligent, humble, friendly. Goals on the surface is to be the best him that he can be, though he is self-aware there is no end to this goal. Occupation, student. Rank, virtue student. Affiliation, Nick to Hylawood, which is the town we just described, in the forest region, and he's also part of Team Solar Flare. Which is like the specialty team that has characters I probably haven't mentioned on stream before, like Lilora, Nyx, and there's like a portal creator I never named. Lilora, Nyx, Dragon, and yeah, they're not. I guess I didn't start. Prox is the other one. For proximity. His virtue class, self-mutator. There are 5 virtue classes. This is the one that is probably the most open-ended out of all of them. Virtue ability. His virtue ability is base virtue ability boost. So he has no move names, which makes it easier for me. So base virtue ability boost. So for those who don't know, there are 4 virtue abilities that every virtueser has. The name's still working. I'm probably gonna keep it anyway. Every virtue user has. Trying to find them here. So he has virtue, recharge, generation. So he has his ability is to boost all 4 of these abilities. Virtue, recharge, generation, concentration. Technique causes virtue to recharge at a faster rate. This is the first. This is the first base ability learned. Just to recharge. Virtue shield, which is probably his most offensive and defensive ability, arguably, does not expel virtue. If a virtue shield is broken, that amount of virtue used to create the shield has to recharge. This is the second ability learned. So it just serves as like a barrier between themselves and whatever's trying to attack them. Virtue scan / detection, finding others and finding out others' virtue abilities. I'm not gonna keep this second part because Haneo, who was one of the teachers, his glasses give him the ability to find out others' virtue abilities, so that would put him at a severe disadvantage. Final ability learned by virtue users. One cannot scan for the strength of an opponent. It's just to find them, pretty much. Like X-ray vision, kind of. And the last, virtue concealment. Hiding one's own virtue to avoid being detected, even by those using virtue scan. And then there's like power scaling with that, because if you're like better with virtue, you're going to be able to hide your virtue better than someone trying to scan and find you using the virtue concealment. So Dragon, his ability is to boost all of these abilities with his virtue shield. So self mutators, the reason he has this red outline around him, not just because it looks cool. Self mutators, their virtue is uniformly red. You can tell who, you can tell the virtue class of any virtue user based on the color of their virtue. So you see here, self mutators virtue color red. You'll see in Bleak when we show him that his virtue color is green, means he's a touch mutator. Traversers, violet / indigo. Thieves, their color is blue, and then kinetics, all of their colors are orange, which is why Ferris has the orange stuff glowing around him, because he's also currently using his ability in the photo that he's in. You see this stuff floating around him because he's a metal manipulator, ferrokinesis. So yeah, his main, like, Dragon's main thing is like his shield, the virtue shield, that allows him to be both strong on offense, because the shield, his strong shield, is what's protecting him between him and whatever he's trying to attack or defend from. So it's his biggest defense as well. And even if the shield were to somehow get broken, he can just recharge it faster than other people can, because that's his ability. So when you first hear this ability, if you know about the four virtue abilities, and you hear like, oh, he just boosts the base virtue abilities, that's not that great of a power. He's actually the strongest out of the 24 students, like no contest. And he didn't believe in his ability once he unlocked it and figured out, oh, I just boost the base virtue abilities. That's really boring, and I kind of don't want to train because of that. That's kind of pointless. It's Aldo his master, and I'll get to this bio in a second, but it's Aldo his master that kind of pushes him to be like, no, you don't know how good of an ability this is. So out of the 24 students, I've only drawn a few, but you'll see another clad today. He is by far the strongest, including the main character, the rival, all of them. Ferris is the main character's rival, is this guy. Dragon is stronger. So let's go back to his completed. So his weapon, every virtue user, through some method, finds a way to get what is called a smith gift. I used to call them smith gift weapons. That's redundant because gift is the noun in that phrase. And when the 24 students go to this school, the OAVL, Ortamil Academy of Virtue for Virtue Learning, I think that's what I called it. They each get a smith gift, which is smith gifts. They're their weapons or items, which is why I just call them gifts. Also, kind of rhymes. Given to people by the gods of this world, which are called the blacksmiths. So his given smith gift is a plain old yo-yo. It doesn't have razors. It doesn't have the string isn't like a razor wire or anything like that. It's just a plain old yo-yo, and this creative bastard named it Yo-Yo, because I can't think of any yo-yo references maybe besides Killua from Hunter x Hunter. But and each smith gift comes with its own ability that complements the user in some way, the original user in some way. So this yo-yo has virtue extension, which allows the weapon to be an extension of himself, meaning Dragon, meaning he can apply base virtue abilities to it as well as control it when he shrouds it in virtue. So he can give it a virtue shield, which would like infinitely increase its power. It wouldn't break upon contact like a Toyoyo would, because he has his virtue shield extended and shrouded around it. And through doing this, he can also control it. He could also conceal it. He can apply any of the four base virtue abilities to it. He can hide it. He can cause it to scan, I guess. Um, but yeah, it's not in this picture. I could probably like add it to his finger or something like that, but you wouldn't really see it. And I thought of this. A lot of these drawings, I drew the characters before I gave them their weapons. So, for example, Kayahi, like I didn't think of his weapon until after I drew him, which is fine. I'm not that great of a. There's a lot of things I'm not good at drawing because I haven't taken the time to practice, which is why I refuse to draw the manga itself. Um, but I'm not that good with creating creative weapon designs. So his weapon, which is like a double-edged sword, isn't prevalent in this picture. And we'll get to Kiai in a second because he's one of the other completed characters. But let's read his bio, then read his. Well, we can read his items right here. Rule of threes. His tattoo. He has a dragon tattoo, which is his namesake. Black wraps represent something he's hiding about himself. I don't know what. They also just look really cool. And then dragon eyes, also his namesake. Also it looks cool. So he has like little lines instead of pupils. All right, so let's read his bio and then we'll move on. Yes. Okay. Dragon was born in Nyctahylwood in the Forest region. He was technically left at someone's doorstep late at night, and the owner of the home brought the baby to the next town meeting. The small town agreed to raise him together, and indeed they did. But growing up, he became most attached to a town elder by the name of Aldo, who I mentioned earlier. He was a curious child that would get lost in the forest close to night even a few times, where whatever has been torturing that town for years has come close to killing him. It's worded a little weirdly. He gave himself the goal of becoming strong enough to get rid of whatever evils plague the town, which is like the evils surrounding the Lantern Lane. But became depressed after learning of what his virtue ability was, which is the base virtue ability boost, is what I was talking about. Became unmotivated for a while, but after learning the potential of his abilities from Aldo, he trains. Aldo is the reason he ends up being such a Boy Scout type, telling Dragon to never apologize for doing the right thing being whatever he feels. This is Aldo's mistake, and it's kind of the reason Dragon turns out to be a lawful neutral kind of guy, because well, let me finish reading the bio. Both Ciro and Ferris bond over, even though they're rivals, bond over being envious of how perfect of a student he is. Kiahi is indifferent. They're like the main four best boys of the students, I would say. I'm predicting that, though I can't predict who's going to be the most popular of the students when the chapters come out. Though he's far from perfect, he will stop. Though he is far from perfect, he will stop at nothing to prove his point of view is correct, because he believes his moral compass is correct. So that's where he's not. I think that makes him an interesting character, because if he believes you're wrong, he's gonna go to that extent to prove you wrong and show you that you're wrong and try to convince you to change your perspective. And with him being the strongest student, it's going to be hard to kind of resist. Also, when he receives his yo-yo, the other students are confused as to why he's content wielding a plain old yo-yo. And, with him not realizing the potential of his own virtue ability, when he receives the yo-yo, he's not upset or anything, because he knows there's going to be more to it than just, oh, it's a toy yo-yo. Great. So that's Dragon. We've finished one of the main boys, the strongest boy of the students. Yeah. So who's next? I think. Okay, Kayahi is next. I already have his picture up. That's great. He has a very long bio. It's pretty much like a mini story, if I'm being honest. throw up his picture. Yeah, we can close out dragons. I did not move him over from completed. I mean, from the new document, so he's not in completed just yet. So I didn't give him a height or anything. He's probably going to be over 6 something. Right? I didn't move him, I don't think. No, okay. You can tell from his profile, he's a pretty tall guy. Here we go. Okay, Kiahi, male. He was originally supposed to be a special case of Virtue Anomaly, which is what Zero is, and the main villain, Omnispec. There's something different about their virtue abilities. Either they have 2 virtue abilities, or they can use 2 virtue abilities at the same time. But I fit it so he's not that, because it'd be strange if Virtue Anomalies, which are supposed to be very rare in this world, 2 of them are in the same class. That would be kind of convenient and too coincidental. As he's male, I went through a few names: Theo, Amari, Agni, Blaze, Noel, Rory, Apollo, and settled on Kiahi, which is a Hawaiian name that means fire, I believe, or flame or something like that. Full name, if I were to give them full names, Kiahi Ren, because Ren is like a bird of some sort, and it sounds really cool, but they don't have last names in this world. They have clan names, and if you wanted, you could add the clan name to their last name. Like Zashi is part of the Frost clan, so Zashi Frost would be your full name, but they don't call them. They don't call each other that. Semiotics, character tags, genius, tactician, strategist, iconography, colors, black. You see that blue. You see that in orange, which is the accent colors and part of his tattoos. Tied locks, see that, half vest with hood. This is a hood back here. I'm not the greatest at. Normally the hood would like be hanging all the way back, especially a hood that big, but I wanted to show that this vest has a hood, so I kind of just bring it up a little bit. I did the same with Clad's drawing. Sweatpants and sneakers, you can't see it. You can't ever see, most of the time you can't see the people's feet, because I don't draw past the waist most of the time, or like here on the legs. Alignment, neutral, good. Personality, chill, calculated, calm, collected, cool. All of the good C words. Goals, to become an underground leader, one of those unknown world leaders that really controls what goes on in the world, but this would be for the betterment of mankind, not his own self-interest. Does not wish to be known, because he grew up being known. Being able to do good without any rewards is what he strives for. He doesn't want some grandiose goal like becoming counselor of a region, which is what you would expect Cyril's grand goal to be, being a manga main character, shonen main character. You expect him to, I want to be counselor of a region, or counselor of the world. I'll make it a position. No, that's not his goal. Or something ridiculous that won't actually result in any change. Occupation, student. Rank, virtue, student. Affiliation, Stack Slums, which we have mentioned before, and we've written before on stream live like 2 weeks ago. It was either last week or 2 weeks ago. Stack Slums, this should say, actually this shouldn't say ornamental. That Stack Slums, comma, Citadel region. And then Team Meteor. Virtue class, he's a kinetic, which is orange. Even though he's using the abilities here, I didn't want to like include the virtue around everybody. I thought it just looked cool for Ferris. I thought something was missing, but he's plain even though he's using his ability. So his kinetic ability is Pyrocryokinesis. Blue fire that he can turn into ice, which is these little diamond things up here. I know it's not that easy to tell. Blue fire that he can turn into ice with the wave of his hand, and vice versa. So here's a little note for his ability. Because he originates from the stacked slums where oxygen is more scarce. There's just stacked slums are like tall stacks of like buildings and communities stacked on top of each other. They're like huge towers of just metal nonsense. Hajj is more scarce. He got used to honing his skills and outputting more fire and conserving virtue, required to do whatever he needed to do with fire at the top of the stack slums. So when he reached the bottom, his fire was stronger than any fire seen by anyone on the ground of this world. This also gives another reason as to why the clans are chasing after him. There are a few clans that are after him because of his abilities and tactical genius. He has I have a few move names. All of these are subject to change or have added stuff to them. Move names these are never finalized. I can always come up with move names down the line, so I don't stress. I always if I want them to have a move name, I'll always give them at least one. But this is normally this and like the weapon name or ability is kind of like the very last thing I do for any of these characters. Move name. So the first one, freeze over, encases the target's entire body in flames before swapping the flames to freezing cold ice. This move requires no extra virtue on his part, but it sounds cool. I just imagine him like burning somebody alive, and then he whispers freeze over and switches the fire to ice, and they just freeze in place. It looks cool in my head. And then his other move name, Dragon's Breath. Breathing little oxygen at a high altitude also allowed his breathing to be steady on the ground. In turn, this allows him to be one of the only individuals in this world able to breathe their kinetic element. Can you imagine somebody like breathing metal? Or acid? Actually, that's not that far-fetched. But, metal. Doing this move normally forces him to recharge after, so it only makes sense for him to use it should he be surrounded by his teammates. And it's kind of like it's like a last resort kind of ability. So, the weapon was the like last thing I did for him. So it's a double-edged sword named Kawa. Double-edged sword. Think of the weapon Thanos was using in Endgame, Avengers Endgame. But I named it Kawa after Yoshiaki Kawajiri, which is the writer and director of Ninja Scroll. And in that movie, there was another guy that was using a double-edged sword that he would fling at opponents, and it was this giant sword that had a handle in the middle, and there was like a sword on each side, equally balanced as all things should be. But it's perfectly balanced, but you know what I mean. So that's what I was saying. Like I'm trying to do most of the Smith gifts have some sort of reference with their names. So this Smith Gift's ability is called Spin Lock. It's able to stay in place spinning and even spin in the opposite direction should the need arise for some reason. Should he try to infuse it? Because most of these Smith Gifts for kinetics, it's pretty easy to come up with an ability, so I'm trying to give it like a cheat second ability. They're able to infuse their weapon with whatever the element they're controlling. And you'll see that for when I draw and complete Kindle's information. So she's just a pure pyrokinetic. But should he try to infuse it with both fire and ice, it takes a lot of his virtue based on the size of the sword and the balance needed for both sides. Because it's a ridiculously oversized sword. You've never seen like a double-edged sword from Ninja Scroll or Avengers Endgame. They're huge. I could just resize it, but I kind of don't want to resize them that much. I kind of want them to be like ridiculously oversized because why not? We'll do his rule of 3 accessories. Locks, black heritage, fire tattoos represents his fire power. Wrist guards, because they look cool, also something. Both colors are what people see him as. A threat, orange, semicolon, fire, and a blessing, blue, ice, water. With his entire color scheme, more blue than orange, he's more of a blessing than a threat. That's deep. I'll let you soak that information in for a second. Okay, good. So here's his bio. He's originally, and we read this before again, like 2 weeks ago, whenever we did the info on this region. But for those that are new to this, he is originally from the Stack slums in the Citadel region. Everyone around him was too fearful to make the journey down to the bottom of the stacks, but he wanted to know what kind of world was waiting for him at the bottom. And again, originally this was supposed to be a completely separate series about stack slums and somebody making their journey to the bottom of the stack and then finding out what was on the bottom. And then I just took that and just gave it to this single town in this world. So he made the journey and successfully touched the ground, something people 3 generations and older from these slums have never done. He finds immediately at the bottom that they're surrounded by a landfill. An employee working in the landfill approaches him, and Kiai tells him the story. The employee is amazed and also informs Kiai that the Citadel region, in essence, abandoned the Stack slums, which is why they stopped seeing cybernetic enhancements and help in general. Read more on world building virtuosity, which is the other this document here. But there was reasons for that we read before. But the Citadel region is known for like its cybernetic advances, due to the help of a certain blacksmith, one of the gods. And it's like the only region that has cybernetic enhancements, because I wanted to find a way of including some technological advances and merging it with a fantasy world, so I just gave those technological advancements to a single region. Which is also like, since the Elysium region was taken out, it's the most like threatening region as well. Kiai then decided to explore a bit of the Citadel region and became an assistant to a blacksmith, one of the gods. The citizens of the Citadel region noticed their weapons became stronger, and it was due to Kiai's fire output. However, he eventually got pissed off seeing his own region ignoring what happened at the Stack slums, so he left to wander a bit. Word from the landfill employee got out about a kid who reached the bottom of the Stack slums, and people and clans began to seek him out. There's going to be an entire arc dedicated to people and the clans chasing him down, and his friends helping him like escape or fight off whoever who's ever trying to like bring him back to their clan or group. They viewed him as a genius for reaching the bottom in the first place, and what he could do with fire and improving the smith gifts, something special. He wandered for a bit, ignoring people's requests to have him under their wing or join their organization. It was in Ornamill, which is the town that the school is in with the 24 students. It was in Ornamill that he settled and felt safe from both the Inferno clan and Frost clan, which is like the biggest 2 clans that were searching for him. Who went after him the hardest. Again, Zashi is part of this Frost clan. She's like the middle child. She's the daughter. One of the daughters. She's probably going to have a younger sibling. I don't know yet. Jato, who is the Ice Ninja, is her older brother for that. He was not from either of these clans, but each felt it in their best interest to recruit the young genius because he unlocked his virtue abilities at a young age. Being a young genius, average people feared what he was capable of. He is a tactical genius and master strategist. And that's it, I think. That's Kiai wrapped up and all finished. We have pretty much nothing else to add to him. So when off stream, I'm going to add him to the virtuosity completed. Only thing I need to add is like his height. That's about it. But that's another one done. Next we have Aura. We're getting to the new people in a second. After Aura, we'll get to Clad and Bleak. Even though I didn't really write for Bleak this week. Alright. Let's pull up Aura's picture and read out her bio. I had most of Aura done already. Excuse me. There was just a few things missing, but since it's not that much information, I'm just gonna go through it anyway. So Aura, her name was always supposed to be Aura. I think I might have thought about giving this name to somebody else, but normally I have like whatever I want this character to be as like the title before I get into like their real name. Like for example, dual element special case boy for KI. I just had Aura here. So female, real name Aura. Semiotics or hero, not character tags. Hero, confidant, motivator, leader. Iconography, colors, pink. Yeah, there's a lot of pink. Neon green, which is these accents here and in her thing and in her hoodie as well. Black, which is the hoodie and her hair. Maroon, which is just her shorts. Wild black hair and ponytail. I think I had drawn her before I even described, so I just described what I drew. Pink crop top, hoodie tied around waist, maroon shorts, white sneakers. Alignment, chaotic good. Personality, headstrong, confident, selfless. Goals, help who she can and find out what she wants to do in the world. Few of these students are like soul searching, so they're trying to figure out what they want to do exactly. They don't have like any crazy origin stories where their parents got murdered in a super fire of some sort, or the fire came to life and stabbed the parents in the stomach with a gun. Nothing crazy like that. So, occupation student, rank virtue student, affiliation Salt Flat City in the desert region, also Ordomel Plains region. No, it's team. What was her team name? Team Earthquake, right? She commands a team of all dudes. Though she's probably like the dudish dude on the team. Team Earthquake, right? Okay. Each of the teams are named after a natural disaster of some sort. So Keahi is team God, I forgot. I think it's Team Meteor. Yeah, the main team is Team Cyclone. You got Team Wildfire. Yeah, Team Meteor. Cyclone, Wildfire, Blizzard, and Solar Flare. So her virtue ability, she's a kinetic. She has Crystallokinesis, which is controlling crystals. Move names. I just came up with these when I was trying to sleep. So she has a move name called Reinforce. Reinforces a wall of crystals with more crystals, or physically support something with crystals. So if like a building is falling over, she'll use Reinforce to help hold that building up. The other one, Virtue Control Cave-In. Showers target with spiked crystals from above. So she just like creates a dome of spiked crystals and just showers the opponent in that. Weapon. Tonfa named Deuces, so follow me here. My references can get kind of obscure. Just a tiny bit, maybe. I don't know. Tonfa are like, I'm going to show you what Tonfa look like. Again, she was another example of a character I drew before I gave her her weapon, like Keahi. These are what don't add it to the... Just... There you go. These are what Tonfa are. They kind of look like billy clubs. Might be where billy clubs came from. But this is kind of along the lines of what I was thinking. You see how this has like a sharp edge to it? And these are like the duller ones. That's gonna coincide with her ability, or the weapon's ability. So Tonfa named Deuces. Deuces is a synonym for Snake Eyes. One of the only characters I've seen wield these. So in the G.I. Joe movie, Rise of Cobra, the first one, um, or the first live action. I think it's the first live action one. I'm pretty sure he used these both in like his final fight with Storm Shadow and like the one of the his origin story fights, I believe. Um, so that's a reference to Snake Eyes. Um, and I've started writing down my references because I'm not gonna remember why I named some of these weapons, why I named them, what I named them. So its ability, offense and defense, not a great name. Able to switch between offense, which gives the Tonfa sharp edges, or offensive, or defensive, which gives the Tonfa dull, rounded edges, capable of using one offensive Tonfa and one defensive one simultaneously. So she can kind of just change the shape of the weapon. That's the weapon's ability. Rule of 3. I didn't give her a rule of 3 because I thought she already had a lot going on as her design. So all I gave her was wrist guards to show off her team symbol because you can't see it on the hoodie because of the way it's tied. So you just see the Team Earthquake symbol here, which is like this is a cliff, and this is another cliff, and there's a crack going down the middle. But also kind of looks like a lightning bolt, and that's kind of cool. So here's her bio, and this is the reason she kind of acts so dudeish on a team of dudes that she commands. Her dad wanted a boy and was only willing to try 3 times. All 3 kids were daughters. And with her being the youngest, she ended up behaving like a tomboy, especially compared to her elegant sisters. Spent most of her time with her dad growing up. When he would come home from the salt mines in Salt Flat City, in the desert region, she would spend all the time she could with him while he was home. One day there was a collapse of the salt mines. She heard her dad was in trouble. In turn, her virtue ability of crystallokinesis. So you have to, in this world, you have to unlock your virtue ability. Yeah, I'm not sure about the base virtue abilities just yet, but in turn, her virtue ability of crystallokinesis manifested, and she was able to save everyone. From that day forward, she grew into the person she is now in the series, confident and whatnot. The town respects her and knows her name due to that day. When she heard of a prestigious school opening up in the Plains region, OAVL, she decided to hone her abilities and see who else it was possible to help with the crystallokinesis and figure out where she fits in this world, which is what her whole goal coincides with the whole goal. And yeah, not much to her other than that as of right now. I can't wait to. So my favorite part of creating a series is thinking of some of the character interactions from the vastly different personalities. So I'm trying to think of how she would interact with somebody like Amy or Zero or the edgelord Ferris, or even somebody like Kiyagi, who she may or may not romantically be interested in at some point. We don't know. But yeah, that's Aura. Pretty quick and simple. And now, move to that boy Clad. Again, completed for Clad is in quotations because I still have not come up with a weapon ability. I thought maybe something with healing. I don't know just yet. But I want it to be something where he uses his Smith gift always uses his Smith gift on his teammates and whoever he's supporting at the time rather than himself. That also speaks to his character, because he never uses his Smith gift on himself. So Clad is down here. Yep, they're all pretty much back to back. I've been meaning to complete them for a while. They're pretty important students. You have the like side students, and then you have like the main group of students, and then you have the main characters, which are the main 4 students, all on the same team. But let's bring up one of the newest pictures that I drew for this week. We have that boy Clad. Close out first. Um, and you'll see everything about his personality is exactly what you see in the picture. This is the Team Meteor symbol, so he's part of Kayahi's team. He's like the tank for their team. Bring up Kayahi's image real quick, so you see the symbol is this. The symbol is the same. See that? It's like a meteor falling. There's like fire around it. There's a meteor falling. And there's fire around it. They're part of the same team. So, Hardened Man, male. Clad was originally supposed to be for the Disturbed Delinquents space epic story. He was supposed to be the big guy for that main group of delinquents. And I kept him around. I just changed him around a bit, like I did Zero. So his real name, Clad, from Ironclad. I know that's not... Clad means like clothed or covered in something, right? I'm gonna double check. I probably should have known this before. Past particle of clothed. Yeah, that's fine. I also just think the name fits him. Yeah. Character tags, semiotics, tank, rock, countryman. Iconography colors, maroon. I'm gonna change this to brown because I think maroon could be safe for somebody else as their like t-shirt, their hoodie color. The spikes, I know it's really hard to see, but the spikes in his design, the design that is for everybody's hoodies, it was maroon, and then I just colored over it with brown because the brown Sharpie is darker than the maroon one, so it kind of just created a darker brown. But yeah, that's his hoodie accent color. I think I updated this document, so I'm keeping track in this document who has what color because they're all gonna have different colors. Did I? Clad? Oh no, I didn't. Not maroon. I'll give maroon to somebody else. Okay. Wild spiky hair. He has that. T-shirt with hood. You see this looks like a little brown back here, and then black. That's like my effort to show that the T-shirt has a hood attached to it. Sweatpants. Yeah, you can kind of call these sweatpants. Why not? Boots. Excuse me. Alignment. He's also chaotic good like Aura. Loud, passionate, hardy. Personality traits. Goals: to become leader of his own clan. Pretty simple. Occupation: student. Rank: virtue student. Affiliation: Westwood in the desert region. So we have 2 completed towns in the desert region. One is Westwood. Just think of the Wild West, which is why it's called Westwood. And then Salt Flat City, where Aura is from. So he's also on Team Meteor, like Yahi. His virtue class, Self-Mutator. He's not using his ability. Well, he's always using his ability, and we'll get to that in a second. But that you don't. I didn't think the aura around him, the virtue aura around him, belonged in this picture. Most of the time, I'm not going to add it to the pictures, but sometimes I feel like it fits. Like for Dragon and for Ferris. His ability, subdermal armor, which grants him super strength, super leap, and super durability. Having one ability, it's kind of like my way of cheating and giving him a few powers. But he has armor underneath his skin. That's his virtue ability. He has to activate that, but he always has it active. So at this point, after using it for so long, having it active for so long, it doesn't really drain any of his virtue. So if you try to cut his skin, like try to cut his arm off with a very sharp sword, try to cut into it, it's gonna stop like right underneath the skin because of the armor. He doesn't have any move names because of this. It's pretty simple virtue ability. So a Smith gift. He has Westwood Wonder Belt, named Clay. Clay is a reference to not only the Borderlands character, but mainly I was thinking of Clay from Shaolin Showdown. But that's two characters named Clay. There's also the black guy from the Lost and the Damned GTA 4 story. But that's two characters that have the same name that are both like cowboy-esque characters, and you can tell just based on that. He doesn't have a southern accent. I don't think I'm gonna have accents in this show, but he's wearing a cowboy hat. There's another character I have already drawn that is rocking the cowboy hat and may or may not be from Westwood. I think I did make him from Westwood. That boy Black Phoenix. Please look. There you go. Another cowboy boy. There it is. Alright. So its ability, I never gave it a name. Oops. He only uses this ability for his teammates, wrapping the belt around them. Oh yeah, that's because I never gave him the ability. So that's like the last thing I have to work on before I move him over to the completed virtuosity document. I need to give his belt an ability of some sort. I'm thinking maybe healing or something like that as a tank. Because he can tank as a tank. He can take hits with his subnormal armor. So he can stand in front of his teammates should they be like under fire of some sort. We'll skip to rule of threes. Cowboy hat shows where he's from. Hair sticks out from underneath it. You can see that. Before, I had a picture of him before where his eyes were like wider and his hair was a little different, and he looked a little too close to Goku for some reason to me. I don't think I have it saved. That's fine. And I didn't like it, so I made his like irises smaller and gave him like this one eyebrow up, one eyebrow down kind of look. Goofy looking belt over sweatpants. This also happens to be a Smith gift. It was originally just supposed to be a stupid accessory to make him look different from the other students. You can see every student kind of has their own like weird design, which is kind of the point. They're individuals. Like Aura, Amy, you got Clad, Dragon, Ferris. All these are students. Kiahi, Zero, Zashi. They all look different. So I wanted him. He's a big guy, so I wanted to make him look like a big guy. Also happened to be a Smith gift. Also, because everything is bigger in Westwood, that makes absolutely no sense. But I put it there because why not? And then he has wristbands because his arms would look naked without them. For some reason, I cannot just like leave a character's like wrists alone. I wear a lot of wrist accessories myself. I always have these on as of right now, these like rubber wristbands. But like to me, like everybody, they look so, their arms look so naked without them, and it really bothers me. You can see in Haneo here, like he has like beads on his wrists because I think it would look naked otherwise. Kiahi, he has the wrist things, these things. You got Black Phoenix who has the gloves. Unless they're like wearing long sleeves, with somebody like Amy, I feel like it's just naked without them. Like Amy doesn't have anything on her wrists, just the hoodie. Unless their hands are like hiding, like Ferris, I feel like they're, and you'll see when I show Bleak, who's probably one of my, along with Jato, my favorite design characters. Like, I was kind of, that was the character I drew. You'll see him in a minute. Character I drew this morning. Woke up at 4 a.m. He doesn't have anything on his wrist. Technically, I guess you can count as chains, which are kind of hard to see. But I feel like, yeah, Zashi has something on her wrist. I feel like the characters are naked without them, you know? I mean, Vermilion also has something on her wrist, but like that's her Smith gift. They kind of have to be there. That's her weapon. But I just opened a whole bunch of, let's get rid of we'll leave Black Phoenix open just in case right now. So yeah, that's the reason I gave him wristbands. Plus, he was missing. It was supposed to be his color scheme was supposed to be maroon and teal, which are supposedly complementary colors. I think that's why I said teal, but I didn't have anywhere to really put it, and I just put it in the. I didn't want his pants to be teal, so I gave him wristbands, put in wristbands, and then I colored the belt last. So I added it to the belt. So let's do his bio, and then we'll move on. Right? Yes. The constant use of virtue always drains him. And remember before, I was supposed to add something traumatic to his backstory that made him always keep his subdermal armor active. So I added that, and we'll read that. Constant use of virtue always drains him, but over time it builds like a muscle to the point where he can protect himself at all times without expelling all his virtue. His uncle, and this is something I also added. His uncle, he has an uncle or had an uncle, was the leader of a clan, and the clan's name is not important, and raised him when he was younger. Other peers in that clan saw he was the most likely candidate for becoming clan head once his uncle stepped down. His uncle sent him on a mission with these envious peers and ended up catching him by surprise and nearly killing him. Let's say and they, not his uncle. It sounds like his uncle killed him. Nearly killing him. They left him for dead in the middle of nowhere, and while he went to the nearest town to recuperate, his uncle and entire clan was wiped out by an unknown force. I can always figure that out later. It'll also make for a dramatic effect when it's like, oh no, that's what killed Clad's clan, his original clan. Wiped out from an unknown force. When he returned home, he returned to nothing. No family, no clan, no treacherous friends. This thing that happened in the past is the reason he doesn't trust people, but still wants to be connected to them. And the reason, because, he still had the clan and the family and the fellowship and all of that, and then it was just taken from him. So he still wants that, but he doesn't trust people. And he still wants to be connected to them. And the reason he keeps his subdermal armor active. So he's still the funny guy, the rock for the team Meteor, who I think Aphotica, who I've drawn her, but I didn't like the drawing, so I'm redrawing her, and Axis. I have Axis, but I plan on redrawing him. I went between the names Axis and Rai so many damn times. Where is he? It should be in A. Okay, he's not. What? Axis? Or is his name still Rai in this document, in this folder? No it is not. Oh my god, where is he? He's not in Dark Before Dawn. Nope. Not in Giant Slayer, not in Demigodhead. Oh boy. He is nowhere to be found. That's also one of my favorite drawings. Like before I think I improve with each drawing I do. So like this is one of the, oh no. I can't find, is he in a different, it's fan art, it's comic characters, is he in this? Or maybe he's in photos. I have his picture, guys, I swear. I swear. Oh, there's a digital Lux. Axis. Here he is. Only reason I'm not using his picture and the reason I haven't rescanned it, he's also part of Team Meteor, is first of all the symbol's not there. Probably gonna keep this. I like this hoodie design. I like the mask. I like the hair. I like pretty much everything about him. Chain thing that has no purpose. Looks cool. He's not using this weapon. Originally he was given Anti's weapon from Descended. Like he was part of that world. He was given Anti's... Is Anti not in this? Dog, my folders are out of control. Oh, here it is. He was given Antai's weapon, Dimension Splitter, at some point. Why are there two of them? Why are there two of them? Okay. This is why you see it in this. It's the same handle. You see it there, kinda. But yeah. Now he's using like rods that, like lightning rods, as his weapon because he's a lightning boy. So this picture is kind of irrelevant now, even though it's one of my favorites. All right. Wait, let's finish. Oh, I was trying to remember how I got there. It was because of Team Meteor and who the other members are. I don't even have Afatica's like sketch drawing. I don't have a picture of that because I didn't like it at all. Plus, she needs a whole like redesign. Music keeps something active. He's still a funny guy to rock for the Team Meteor. Everyone shows the cry on, but he doesn't, or rather can't reciprocate. He wants to be the Rock, but isn't comfortable with anyone being his. His ultimate goal is to become the leader of his own clan, loved by all the members like he has his own family. So, even though, like, maybe their goals are pretty simple, or there's nothing too tragic about their backstory, there isn't his. There's a complication or complexity to every character that I think, or I believe, makes them three-dimensional. Like Kayai not wanting to be in the spotlight, even though he's being chased by all of these clans, which is, in other people's eyes, would be a good thing. Aura trying to figure out what exactly she wants to do because about her personality because she grew up with her dad, and she just adopted a dudeish personality. There's layers to every one of these characters. Even though the drawings are 2D, the characters aren't, if you know what I mean. Alright. Let's, I haven't completed Bleak, and I think I said that at the beginning of this. I think I said that we'll probably, for the last few minutes of the stream, we'll probably work with Bleak and Arachna, who were like, Bleak's drawing is done, but Arachna's isn't completed just yet. We'll probably work on them for the last few minutes of the stream. I do my best writing off stream, even though you've seen my creative genius at work sometimes where I would just come up with something on the spot. When I don't have to like entertain or talk and my mind's split in so many different directions. This is when I do my best writing. Also when I'm listening to like good vibes music. Also, it depends on the character, but most of the time, good vibes just is the umbrella. It does the job. Sometimes when I'm drawing like an epic, badass boss type character, I like to listen to my epic music playlist. What am I doing? I'm trying to find Blink. So, out of all the characters you see in this, not this folder, this folder, he and Jato, and I'm going to bring up Jato, are my, by far, favorite design characters design-wise. Probably also, like, just badass-wise. Jato, come on, dog. The ice ninja. Look at this man. He just oozes badassery. And I've scrolled over his picture a lot by now, so you've probably already seen it, but not in its entirety. And now Bleak. So Jato is like Zashi's older brother, one of the main characters. Bleak has nothing to do with them, but come on, dog. Oh, what are you? My computer's freezing. Okay, there we go. That's that boy. He was supposed to. Why is it blurry? It looks blurry here. I don't mind. His hood was supposed to be black, but I enjoyed the white so much and didn't want to ruin the white. Like, start coloring it in with Sharpie. I didn't want to ruin the white, that I just kept it the way it was. I just kept it. I think the white looks so cool. Plus it complements his mask. I wanted to keep the mask white. I know I wanted to keep the mask white. So, yeah. Let me close out. Because it looks fine on my phone. It looks blurry on here for some reason. And we'll just go through what I have on him currently. Maybe add something to it. Still blurry? Still blurry. Okay. That's fine. You were doing well. You were doing so well, laptop. Please. It's a picture. I don't know. What are you doing? Alright, fine. So, Shadow Villain. He is part of Ruin. I'm not. Let's just read. Shadow Villain. Male. Real name. I thought of Shrade, like shade / shadow, and charade. It's pretty. Not a great name. Morose, but that was too close to Moro, and I just got rid of the E out of the word morose. But it's too close to Moro from Dragon Ball Z, in my opinion. So I just went with Bleak. His name has not been taken. I'm shocked it hasn't, but now it's mine forever. Semiotics, I didn't give him any just yet, because I don't know all of his bio. We have some of it. Iconography, colors, it was originally just black and red. Like, there was going to be no white whatsoever. What a joke that was. Then I added white because the mask and his hood now. Gray skin, he's the only character in this series that has non-human toned skin. You'll see why. There's a really good reason why. I said sleeveless hoodie. Did I say sleeveless? Oops! Maybe the sleeves get torn off at some point. Who cares? I like the wrinkles that are in this, so that's fine. No shirt. Did that because he has no shirt. Mask. Most of the time the mask is shrouded in shadow. That's my attempt at shadowing. Not really. I just thought it was a cool shading thing. Alignment, chaotic, neutral. Personality, confident, cocky, cynical. You probably read all of that from his body language and the look the mask is giving you. Similar to Alucard and Cell. So I was thinking, personality-wise, they're similar to like Team 4 Stars. He's similar to Team 4 Stars, Alucard from the Hellsing Ultimate series, and Cell who was voiced by the same guy, Takahata. 101. Shoutouts to them. Cell from their Dragon Ball Z series. No goals, occupation, rank, not just yet. Affiliation, Order of the Unseen Rune, or just Ruin. This is the name of the villain group. So, I came up with his ability one night when I was supposed to be sleeping, of course. He's of the Touch Mutator class. So that means green, which is why his weapon here is shrouded in the green virtue. So his ability is Finger Infused Combustion. I would change the name, but I feel like based on his personality, he would love this name because it sounds dirty somehow. He's able to blow up whatever he touches at any time when he snaps his finger or closes his hand into a fist. Come on. It's just correcting. Why are you slowing down because of that? Thank you. The strength of the explosion is determined by the number of fingers used to touch the intended object. So, he wouldn't like say the names, but this breaks down the ability. One finger has the power to break down a virtue shield completely. So if he were to touch somebody like, because he's just a strong character in general, this is where power scaling comes in. If he were to touch somebody like Dragon, whose whole base virtue ability is the boosting of all the base virtue abilities, if he were to touch Dragon Shield with one finger and then snap or close his fist, he normally probably just uses snap or something that simple, it would break Dragon's shield. It wouldn't kill Dragon, but it's a powerful attack. He's a strong character, and you'll see why in a second, and why his skin is gray. 2 fingers. If you were to use 2 fingers on an object, it would break a virtue shield and kill a virtue user with one blow. So if he were just messing around fighting Dragon, tap him, snap, and it would blow up his shield, it wouldn't kill Dragon. Injure him, but it wouldn't kill him. But if you were to use 2 fingers, snap, Dragon's dead. That's how strong this guy is. 3 fingers. So if you use 3 fingers on anything, it has the power to blow up the building. If you were to use 4 fingers, it exponentially increases in power. It goes to a city or a mountain, whichever. It doesn't really matter. But if you were to use 4 fingers on something and close his fist or snap, the explosion that's coming from that is enough to blow up a city or a mountain, whichever is, because some cities are like probably as big as some mountains, right? You know. I know I'm not too crazy specific with this, but then you have a 5 fingers of death, which would blow up a continent. So if he were to put all 5 of his fingers on something and snap or close his fist, that would blow up the entire continent that he and whoever else is on. Both hands, though, let's say he were to lay both hands, all 5 fingers on something and then close his fist. The limit is unknown. The explosion output is unknown. Because like I said, with each finger, the power increases exponentially. So going from blowing up a continent and then multiplying that however many times with 5 fingers, blowing up a continent, imagine like pretty much doubling, but you're not just doubling, because it's exponential, an exponential increase in power. So there's way more in doing both hands and exploding. I'm gonna say it's more than just the planet. He would never do this. He could, because he's immortal, but he wouldn't, because then he'd be alone, and it's kind of boring floating through space. Don't try that at home. Weapons. I didn't give him. I didn't break this down just yet. I haven't like looked back. I was gonna give him like cybernetic arms too. I didn't end up doing that. I was gonna hook cybernetic arms, shoot some, and drag something like Roadhog. Playing a lot of Overwatch, but or like Scorpion. Arm also has a hook within. I didn't end up doing any of this. I really just like the design that he has now. So, also look at Jax's arms for inspiration. From like Mortal Kombat 11 has a lot of cybernetic arms. I'm not good at creating cybernetic arm designs, so I'd be looking at the list of arms for like inspiration on design wise for that. But he doesn't have cybernetic arms, so didn't need that. So bio, half blacksmith. That's the reason he's as strong as he is, and also why he's immortal. He's a demigod, which gives his skin a different color. So the blacksmith skins are all black. Humans have varying tones of skin. So the combination of the all black blacksmith being combined with a human mother, human female, is what gave him his gray skin. It's kind of evened out, I guess. He's immortal but not unbeatable. I'm making that a very clear point. Yes, he cannot be killed, but he can be beaten. Even though he's really ridiculously strong. After Bleak's mom died giving birth to him, he joined the clan at a few years old. They were like a family, taught him everything he knows. Something happens in the story where he goes back to them and kills them. Maybe he had a deal with his blacksmith father to keep. Maybe they had a deal with his blacksmith father to keep the child that came from the mother. Something dramatic like that. He goes back and kills them at some point, and then joins Ruin or something like that. I don't know just yet, but I'll figure that out off stream because we're approaching the end of this. Rule of 3 items. I knew I wanted him to have a mask. Where's my book? So I was going through mask designs because I wanted him to be modeled after like the Grim Reaper, which is why his hood was going to be black, all black. Because like the Grim Reapers, I have a fascination. I've said before on the stream plenty of times. I have like a fascination with like the physical representation of death, like the Grim Reaper. So that's why he has the skull mask and the long hoodie. So I was going through some designs for the mask. I ended up settling on this one pretty much without the there's I don't know, you probably can't see, but there's 2 scars in that design over each eye. I just went with the one eye because it looks cooler. But yeah, this is the same book where I did started with Jato's design as well. Let's see here, there's some early designs from Jato. These are why these are like the. I'm probably gonna start doing this more often, but doing that is probably why both Bleak and Jato are like my 2 favorite and probably the best designed characters for this series so far. Because I've been meaning to complete and draw them for a very long time, like the past few months. So that's why they look at that, man. That's just so cool. I can't wait till I make them fight, and they're gonna fight at some point. They have to. So we have the mask. We have the red and black beads. I don't know what that represents, but remember what I said about their arms feeling naked otherwise? His arms definitely felt naked because they didn't have anything there, so I gave him beads like Haneo, but they're alternate colors instead of 3 different colors. Let's see here. He's got 3 fanciful looking colors. He's got the alternating. What's another accessory on here? No, he doesn't have another accessory. Okay. So I don't know if I'm gonna make him wield 2 hooks or 1 hook. It would make way more sense if he were to wield this 1 hook to have his other hand free in order to do the explosion stuff. Now that I'm saying it, I think I'm just gonna keep it to 1 hook. I didn't give it an ability just yet. It doesn't have a name. Hook named. Hook with chain named B. Ability. Explain. Don't know what the hook does just yet, but I guarantee it'll be cool. Do we have another accessory on here? He has horns because I don't know. I'm still like debating, trying to figure out what kind of design I want for the blacksmiths, and I'll probably start in that book I just showed you guys. I'll probably start designing some faces and stuff. Remember, I know they're gonna be all black. Probably not gonna have any mouths or anything. But I'm trying to figure out if I want them all to have horns. If some of them have horns. These horns aren't part of his mask, and if they were, I probably have them. If the horns were part of his mask, I'd probably have them like have the hood up higher rather than over the horns and the horns poking through the hood. to show that, but these are actually his horns, like on his body. But yeah. Mask and black bleeds, and then this thing. I added a necklace because the necklace looks cool. And you notice the upside down like diamond thing is all over the place in this series. There's no reason for that whatsoever. I promise. This was like, I don't know why. I just went with a shape that not everybody's using. So you see here, for I haven't already have Johto open. Okay. It's on Johto twice. The upside down diamond. It's the symbol for all of the team things. All of the team things. They all have the circle. It's a gold circle, and then the diamond that's blue. All of them have this. There's just a different in the middle. You can tell which team they're on based on like the interior design of it. Again, don't know why the diamond shape is so common in this series, but it just is right now. I don't think I'm gonna have this necklace do anything. It's possible it may. I don't know. But yeah. We did everything. It's exactly 9:30. We did everything in time. We got everything on schedule. Done and finished. Last thing was character drawing Bleak. Next week, hopefully on Wednesday this time, I will have Arachnodon, one of his. Each of the villains, they're all in trios. And the way that works is they're like checks and balances with each other. So one is supposed to watch what 2 is doing and make sure they're doing their job. 2 is supposed to watch 3. 3 is supposed to watch 1. Because they all have different assignments, different roles in the villain group, which is part of Omnispec's whole plan. I don't know what Bleak does just yet, which is why I don't have a whole lot of information on right now, but I always had the design in mind. For example, Roka and Vermilion are on the same team. Roka is checking Kokaida, who I haven't drawn yet. Actually, I have her drawn, but I'm probably going to redesign it. But Roka is checking Kokaida. Kokaida checks Vermilion. Vermilion checks Roka. It's probably the way I'm going to have it. But they're part of a trio for Ruin. There's some others like Men. She's part of. I haven't drawn Omnispec or Neo, but she's probably going to be checking Omnispec. Omnispec checks Neo. Neo checks her. Yeah. Yeah. I think we've done a lot of talking. Done a lot. That's it. Let's see. Chasing live. Let's raid Nimbus. We're gonna raid Nimbus. We have some people in here today. Shout outs to Moms and the Homie Gang in chat today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know a lot of people were lurking. Thank you guys for sticking with me through it. Oh no, my computer. Come on. Alright. So let's get out of here. We're not streaming tomorrow night. Keep your phones on you because we might stream. What is this doing? We may stream Final Fantasy Saturday. We're most likely not going to and just skip the week for now. But man, what is OBS doing, dog? I just scrolled up in the chat and now it's freezing. Let's close out of here. can't close my photos without everything freezing. Fantastic. Fantastic. Photos require no Wi-Fi to pull up, but everything's trying to connect. Great. Okay, let's get out of here before my computer explodes. Oh, appreciate the. Why didn't the alert didn't go off? Appreciate the subscription, Chase. Scary guy. Subscribe for 12 months. You just reached the year. Oh my God! I can't even look at the thing, man. My freaking OBS is freezing. You just reached the 1 year thing. You unlocked the purple Phoenix badge icon. Appreciate you for supporting me this long. Shout outs to Chase, man. My computer is okay. There. Everything's catching up now. I don't know if it's probably my Wi-Fi. No, it's not. My phone is fine. All right, let's get out of here. Shout outs to Chase for the sub. We'll be back Monday with more BioShock. I think we're close. I cannot tell how close we are to the end. I think we are. I don't know. But we'll be back with BioShock Monday and Tuesday. We'll hopefully do more writing Wednesday if my computer wants to act right. And Final Fantasy next Thursday. Sorry, we have to skip this week. The badge is fire. Appreciate it. Shout outs to Yiken, Aaron, for that. Let's get out of here. Okay, the more I scroll, the more this thing delays. Let's go. Please, OBS. I just want to leave. You can. I want you to stop holding me captive. Please. Oh my God. I can't. Where did I type that? It should have been in this. Oh my God. Encoding over. OBS, please. Dog, I'm being held hostage by a program. I just wanna leave. Okay, there we go. There's a notification. You see, this is why we couldn't stream yesterday. Like, why is everything slowing down now? Alright, let me make sure I get the channel name right. I can't even type it without it freezing. Alright, let's get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's JBS Phoenix. And once again, shout out to Chase for the sub. It's JBS Phoenix once again. Signing.